Good evening. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good soundtrack choice? It certainly is. Hope Mechanicus 2 is going to bring the same heat as Darktide and the first. Yes, it is the same composer for Darktide number 2. Welcome, everybody, to the Tinyhammer 2024 Warhammer 40,000 Army List Preview Show. My name is Sean from Beasts Gaming. I will be your host this evening. This isn't Matt. Yeah, exactly. A little bit of a cheeky surprise for you. Hello, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I'm part of the Beast Gaming team. I've been monkeying around behind the scenes to just help out with this event, as other members of the team have been doing as well, helping up setting up this evening. So I'll be your guide on our exciting journey through Warhammer 40,000. Any painters? Anyone painting right now? I know Tim is. Or at least you should be. Any last-minute painters? Okay. So, this evening, we're going to be going through the many army lists that have been submitted for this event. I'm going to be doing... hey, you guys know me. I'm an epic gamer. But, I'm not going to level my amazing gaming knowledge too hard. No, I've had a little bit of a look. I've got a couple of things to, maybe comment on. I'm not much of a competitive gamer. So, look, I'm just excited to show you guys some of the wacky, fun combinations that people have been putting together. And that's why this is called a list preview show, not a list review show, okay? So... That's what that's all about. So, let's see if I can get this working. Let's go over here, click on this button, then click on my Stream Deck. Here we go. I'm going to wait for the stream to catch up on my other monitor, my other computer. I got my laptop as my second monitor. Here we go. Fantastic. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, to Tinyhammer 40,000. This is the beginning of a fun weekend of gaming in the far distant, far future. But, it's grim and dark, but hey, the games can still be fun, right? So, first of all, let's thank one of our sponsors, being Table War Australia, link in the description, who have been providing a ton of the Battlefield mats that you guys will be fighting on over the weekend. They've been a sponsor of Beast Gaming for a hot minute. And they got some good mats. I bought, I think, 2 of them. And I believe that if you enjoy the experience of playing on the Table War Australia Fat Mat, you should be able to buy some to take home with you as well. Thank you, Table War. So let's move on. I will be thanking some sponsors throughout the video. We got some stats. So, 42.5, according to my calculations, 42.5% of players, this is their first time ever coming to a Beasts Run event. Beast Run events are kind of different to the ones that you'll usually see, especially, Tinyhammer being this 750 point with bespoke missions. It's a bit of a different feel. And we got almost 60% of people coming back. So it's kind of a nice split. I know that a lot of people who are coming for their first time to the event, it's their first time going to a Warhammer event ever. So that's really, really, really exciting. I hope that you guys, and everyone really, has a wonderful, wonderful time. And, we'll see you at the next one, I guess. All right. Out of all of the factions that can be played in Tinyhammer, 90% of them are here. We've got everyone, except for Genestealer cults and Leagues of Votann. They must be doing some underground battles far away. They're busy. They're busy in the mines, bro. And of course, Imperial Knights aren't playable in this format. Neither is Adeptus Titanicus either. I don't think any Warhounds are going to be stomping around on the battlefield. But apart from that, we got everyone. which is pretty cool. All right, next little sponsor is Sigma Central. This is the software which we were able to purchase your tickets. Thank you to Sigma Central for allowing an easy checkout process for you guys to be able to purchase your tickets to come to this event. Thank you, Sigma Central. The future events that the Beasts Gaming will be running will be using Sigma Central for its ticketing. So keep an eye on Sigma Central and on all of our social medias. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, here is our faction breakdown. So, Space Marines. Of course, this is Warhammer 40,000, so Space Marines are ever popular, and they are the most popular faction at this event, with 8 players playing a Space Marine list. Now, this does include the Codex supplements, like Dark Angels and Blood Angels. They have been rolled in there with the Codex-compliant chapters, like the Ultramarines, Iron Hands, and so on. But hot on their heels are Orcs and Astra Militarum, and a lot of single faction representation. So 1 Tau Empire player, 1 Drakari player, 1 Chaos Space Marines player, and so on and so on. So we're a bit of a mixed bag. Like we saw before, we've almost got absolutely everyone. All right, what have we got next? There are almost 200 individual data sheets that are going to be used in this event. Countless, infinite combinations of units colliding. It's pretty exciting. I think we're between 196 at a minimum, based on my looking. So it's a lot of different units. It's going to be quite exciting. There didn't really seem to be, from each faction, a go-to unit. There were some units that were more popular than others, but every list is quite different to each other, which is great. Even in this smaller format, there's still a lot of variety in the army lists. Okay, and the types of units that we have out and about. We've got mostly infantry, almost half of infantry, which makes sense. 20% vehicles, 20% characters, and that includes character type units like the Raven Wing Command Squad. A couple of mounted units, so like Squig Hog Boys. And we've got some tiny little slices over here. We got 2.5% Monster, 0.6% Swarms, and 0.3% Beast. There is a single Beast data sheet, I believe, at this event. I thought that was kind of fun. All right, I think we're ready to jump into the lists, I believe. In total, not including tokens, like your Watches in the Dark and gun drones and the like, there are over 1,000 miniatures being put to the tabletop across this weekend. I wonder how many individual dice will be rolled. Someone else can do the math on that, not me. Now, varying sizes of armies are being used in this event. The smallest army in this event is only 5 miniatures. And there are actually 3 armies that only have 5 miniatures in them. Whereas the largest army, only 1 person has an army of this size. It's 53 miniatures. So quite a variety there. You can see all the numbers to the side are the sizes of people's armies. The larger the circle, the more people have that many miniatures in their army, if that makes sense. So 20 to 30 seems to be the sweet spot for a lot of people. But I love these 5 model armies. I think they're really, really, really cool. I want to see them go head to head. All right, next sponsor. We are proudly sponsored by Ronin Games, who is a local gaming store that has 2 locations, one in Woden and one in Belconnen, recently opened. They're a cool bunch of guys. They stock a nice range of things. I have picked up some basing stuff from them, and they stock a huge paint range of all those weird, wacky color shift paints and weathering powders. So swing by them, and if you see any modeling chain, buy it and give it to Matt, and he will pay you back because he desperately wants it for his Black Templars. All right, list number 1. Let's go. It's time for some army lists. First of all, we're going to go in alphabetical order by faction. So that begins us with the Adapter Sororitas. Our first list coming to us from Brady with 2 characters, a Canoness with the Saintly Exemplar enhancement, a Palatine who is the Warlord wielding the Blade of Saint Eleanor. And these 2 heroes will be leading a unit of Battle Sisters, Celestian Sacrosancts, Repentia, Paragon Warsuits, 2 Penitent Engines, and an Immolator. Now what? Let me get my gaming notes. Yes. Yes, the Blade of Saint Eleanor. It seems to be a pretty popular artifact amongst the Sororitas players, giving the wielder more attacks, more strength, and more damage. No war gear there. I could not fit war gear on there for the life of me. No war gear. I'm sorry. You can ask your opponent what their war gear is during the game. I just couldn't fit it on the slides. I'm sorry. It looked ugly. These heroes, they want to be taking damage. The Canoness kind of wants to die because it gives her a benefit. And the Palatine wielding the Blade of Saint Eleanor will take damage. Gains more attacks the more hurt she is. It is a hell of a blade, which is why in our next list, it is also in Camille's list. Camille is a member of the Beast Gaming team and will be the buy buster for this event. They've also chosen to take a Palatine wielding the Blade of Saint Eleanor, along with a Dialogus, who is a saintly example, a Canoness as the Warlord, and the Demonifuge. The Demonifuge being a Psyker sister, and her, I think the name's Kaiganil, a Harlequin who can jump out of the webway, teleport onto the battlefield, charging your opponent's turn with heroic intervention for 0 command points, tear up with some precision attacks, dealing mortal wounds potentially. So they could be a pretty scary deep strike unit. And those characters will be leading a squad of Celestian Sacrosancts, Dominion squad with an Exorcist in the back, Penitent Engine, and a Retributor squad, bringing some firepower. It's going to be an interesting list. I'm interested to see where the Demonifuge drops and who it snipes out, which characters it targets for destruction. All right. Rob's army is not a very faithful Sisters army. Oh, actually, that's a lie. They are a very faithful Sisters army. They're just, unfortunately, a little bit faithful to the wrong god. Well, at least the one model I've seen from it. Well, hey, I'm not going to be the judge of that. Rob's named all of his miniatures, which is fantastic. I love it. So we've got Praetor Bellona Corvus, the Palatine, also wielding the Blade of Saint Eleanor. Consul Titania, the Imagifier, wielding the big battle standard, who has the Litanies of Faith enhancement, and an Eversor assassin named She Who Walks. And these characters will be leading 2 Battle Sisters squads, Squad Aurelia and Squad... No, there is another squad in there. Squad Maxima, Battle Sisters squad. I'm sorry, that should say Battle Sisters squad for 100 points. That's my bad. There is an Immolator, Prevaractio Fadi. What if I try and pronounce it in an Italian? No. I'll offend someone, I'm sorry. Penitent T835, the Breaking Wield, is a Penitent Engine, along with the Brazen Bull, 2 Penitent Engines to run up the board, and an Immolator to burn anyone still standing after that. Those are factories somewhere just pumping out these authentic artifacts. Yeah, one of a kind, never before seen. And we've got a little bit of lore down the bottom too. When one walks with the light, one knows they will be consumed by darkness. Too long have you walked alone. Too long you have been consumed by the flames of oblivion. Seek your redemption, seek your end, and let all you touch be purged in the following inferno. And that is some lore for She Who Walks, the Eversor assassin. Watch out for them. Okay, moving on from Adaptus Sororitas to Adaptus Custodes. From Sean. Wait, this isn't a kill team event. Auric Champions. 5 heroes. This is one of the 5 model lists. We've got a Blade Captain with a Veiled Blade. We've got 2 Shield Captains. Just chilling. And we got 2 Alaris Terminator Armored Shield Captains. One with the Blade Imperator, and one who works out at the library as he is a martial philosopher. I love this list. I think it's so cool. It's going to be a little tricky on some of the missions, but I don't know. I feel like if you're a Custodian Guard, you're going to make short work of some of these smaller units of Gretchen or Infantry's Guard Squads. But this is a fun. Yeah, my characters can't join units with these points limit. What units? Love this list. Super fun. All right. Over to the Adeptus Mechanicus, we have Joel's Skitarii Hunter cohort, beginning with a Cybernetica Data Smith and a Skitarii Marshal. 30 infantry, 10 of which being Skitarii Rangers and 20 being Vanguard. A Scorpius Dune Rider for some of them to drive around in, backed up with some big Castellan robots, some Cerberus Raiders, and 2 Sidonian Dragoons with Taser Lancers. Now, let me get my gaming notes. The Hunter cohort is going to give all of those infantry models, the Rangers and the Vanguard, stealth, or effectively stealth, -1 to be hit outside of 12 inches, and the benefit of cover. So with some careful positioning, the infantry can score some objectives, while the Dragoons and the Raiders just line up a target and run it down. So that's going to be kind of interesting, I reckon. And the Taser Lancers are going to be a pretty good one, I think, because they appear in some other lists, as they've got that anti-walker ability. And there are a few Dreadnoughts poking around in the Space Marine list. So if you're a Space Marine player, watch out for those Taser Lancers. Tim's list is also a Skitarii Hunter cohort, with a Skitarii Marshal as the Warlord, a Sidonian Scatros, the Stilt Sniper, to kill off those embedded characters, and a Tech Priest Engine Seer, because of course you gotta have a Tech Priest Engine Seer. Leading 2 units of Rangers, there's 2 Dune Riders for them to drive around in, some Cerberus Raiders, a Sidonian Dragoon with a Taser Lance, some Secretary Hoplites with their big shields and pikes, and some cheeky Spindle Drones who are along for the ride. I love that the Spindle Drones are in this list. They're just so cute. I love them. The Secretary Hoplites and the Spindle Drones are Legends units. I love that we got some Legends units in here. I believe they're the only ones that are part of this event. The Hoplites have a pretty cool 4+ invulnerable save, thanks to their shields, and have the capacity to put out some devastating wounds with their lances, which have a shooting profile and a melee profile. All right, time for another sponsor. Hey, wait a minute. Those drones are in the wrong game system. Nah. They're just along for the ride. Our next sponsor is Tagged Events, a purveyor of all things for your gaming events, really. Making custom Velcro morale patches, dog tags, coins, miniatures, and they are also a purveyor of Dragon Dice, which is a dice-based game system, kind of like a MOBA, but using dice as your units. It's pretty fun. I kind of like it. These guys have been sponsoring Beasts for a while. I think all of our events that we've done. Lovely bloke, puts on a good show himself. Thank you for being a part of this event as well. All right, over to the mystical Fey folk that are the Azuyani, the Eldari of the Craft Worlds, are coming out to battle. Jeff's list has a Farseer who is reading the runes to get those rerolls on the Fate dice, and they'll be bringing into battle some Guardian Defenders, Warp Spiders, a unit of Wind Riders, a unit of Wraith Guard, and a large Wraith Lord as well. I love Warp Spiders so much. I think they're so cool. Ever since the Dawn of War 2 cinematic trailer, always loved them. Love to see that they're in this list. Lots of mobility with these Eldar lists. Warp Spiders bounce it around the board. Wind Rider's nice fast movement. And yeah, that Reader of the Runes ability on the Farseer, allowing the rerolls every command phase of a Fate dice. So we'll see how these guys go. I reckon they're going to be exactly where they want to be, exactly when they want to be. Watch out for those Wraith Guard. They hit like a truck. Just like in Juliet's list. I had the pleasure of playing Juliet at last Tinyhammer against her army. And the Wraith units, they tore my poor little Voidsman-at-Arms to shreds. Juliet is taking a Farseer also with the Reader of the Runes enhancement, a Spirit Seer and a Warlock. And they are leading the Guardian Defenders, a unit of Wind Riders, some Wraith Blades, and some Wraith Guards, so for some stabbing and some shooting. The Spirit Seer comboing with a unit of Wraith Blades will resurrect one of them per turn. It's a crazy, crazy strong ability. Very, very, very scary. So if you're putting some damage into the Wraith Blades, just make sure you're doing enough to kill at least 2 of them. Otherwise, it's a 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of situation. Our next Eldari list is by Nathan. He is taking an Autarch Wade Leaper to fly into battle alongside a host of Aspect Warriors. We've got all the warriors are here. We've got the Dark Reapers, we've got the Dire Avengers, we've got Howling Banshees, Striking Scorpions, Shining Spears, as well as Wind Riders and a Wraithlord in support. I think we're only missing a couple, being Fire Dragons, Shadow Spectres, and Warp Spiders, but Warp Spiders are in the other list, so I think it's all right. Also, I don't think you could fit all of them, but I think it's so cool that he's leaned into the theme of let's just get all the warriors are here. I think that's fun. Next up, Daniel's list, and see guys, this is why I couldn't put the weapon gear, the war gear on the slides. We have Daniel's Amphibious Assault Element Sawtooth, composed of individual infantry, cavalry, and artillery sections drawn from the Agrian 43rd, known unofficially as the Deadweight Drifters. Dan goes ham with his lore on his armies, and it's so cool. If you got the pleasure of playing a game against him, you might have a little surprise. You might have a little surprise for you. This army is being led by Second Captain Wary, the Stoic Call, attended by the Saltbrine Standard with attached cannon, hook and line, the platoon command squad. If it wasn't evident, this army is themed kind of nautically. So there's a lot of nautical style references here. There's Brynja, Shepherd to the Maelstrom, a Primaris Psyker, not a Primaris Space Marine, but the Imperial Guard Primaris Psyker. Two rifle squads, Tonsel with a attached cannon, Wake Scourge, rifle squad, Salt Devil with attached cannon, Sheltered Daughter, being infantry squads with attached heavy weapons. There is a vessel, Holger's Eye, attached to the Salt Devils, being a Chimera. There are some Rough Riders called the Breach Whaler Squad's Rider's Luck. This is my favorite unit in the entire army, the Vessel Bowbreaker with attached cannon, the Whole Ceremony. Which is a basilisk with its, big Earthshaker cannon. I think the whole ceremony is like Halo tier naming conventions. There is the Old Mariner, which is a Hydra with its cannon, the Southern Wind, and we've got Silt Held with the cannon, the 13th Flare, and the Sunken Chapel, which the Rhapsody cannon, which are both Scout Sentinels. Oh, Dan's small novel of an army list. Hey, look, it's a good read, I'm not going to lie. A nice classic guard army. Infantry, tanks, walkers, heavy weapons teams, quintessentially Astra Militarum. Greg's army, on the other hand, has a long name, but not a very long unit list. Greg's army, Tanks for the Memories, aka Better Off Tread, aka Leman Russ variants, different units, baby, aka Orders Up for Squares. A mighty 5 miniatures, led by a commissar wearing the death mask of Alenius Bias, 2 Leman Russ battle tanks, a Leman Russ Demolisher, and a Leman Russ Exterminator. Nice, short, sweet, to the point. I hope that commissar is just a small tank. One of the epic scale tanks wearing a little hat that drives around following around the other ones. The Exterminator is probably going to be a one to look out for. It can ping a bit of damage onto a unit, and other units shooting at that same target gain a benefit of 1 AP to their subsequent attacks. So I feel like the Exterminator should be the one leading the line, and the other battle tanks throwing rounds down range. Like Goliath leading other tanks. Next up, we have Nathan's Astra Militarum, leaning into another sort of aspect of the guard, the Jungle Fighters. So led by both Gunnery Sergeant Harker and Colonel Ironhand Strachan, these two heroes lead 30 Katakan Jungle Fighters with a Basilisk and 2 Lehman Russes in support. Again, another very, very classic-looking list. Infantry and vehicles, really. Oh, no walkers, though. No walkers. But that's all right. Hey, who needs walkers when I don't know, you're 6 foot? Wait, what's the lyric in the song? 6 foot tall and full of muscle. He just smiled and handed me a corpse starch sandwich. You know the meme. I love this. I think those Jungle Fighters are going to be cool. I think everyone, all of those units have either Scout or Infiltrate. I think it's Scout. So they'll be able to do some cheeky, like almost the whole army gets to do some cheeky pre-game moves. Okay, and Tom's Super Squad, also Astra Militarum, led by a Platoon Command Squad with an Infantry Squad, a Basilisk, 2 Bulgrins, a Lehman Russ Demolisher, an Ogren Bodyguard, and a Scout Sentinel. These Bulgrins have been built with the slab shields, giving them 4 wounds in total. They're rocking around with, what, a 4+ save, feel no pain 6+, a -1 incoming damage. So they're going to be pretty hardy, especially if they can hide them well and gain some cover as well. And I'm curious to see, I wonder if the Super Squad is a reference to some tech, putting the Platoon Command Squad in the Infantry Squad, using some stratagems, and beefing them up. The Ogren Bodyguard in there, hopefully giving the Platoon Commander, what did that be? 4, 10, 12, 16 ablative wounds? Yeah, no, I'm a hero, guys. I just throw my brethren in front of the bullets. See, it's imperative that I survive. I know the plan. Okay, over to the forces of the Warp with John's Pink Demons, led by a Slaneshi Demon Prince of Chaos with wings, unit of Demonettes, unit of Pink Horrors, a Burning Chariot, a unit of Fiends, and a Seeker Chariot. I believe this is the opposite, like the inverse of John's list that he ran last year, which I believe was combined Nurgle and Khorne. I think from memory, I think that's correct. And that's kind of cool. We got, 2 Tinyhammer events, and then you've got the full, all 4 forces of the great powers on the board. The Fiends here are our Beast unit. I believe it's the only Beast unit on the battlefield. So hell yeah, I'm all there for that. And I love the miniatures as well. I think that Demon Prince is going to be a very, 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 very scary thing to behold on the tabletop. And with some careful positioning of those horrors, can probably protect the Demon Prince. All right. Curious to see how they go. I reckon John's gonna pilot that Demon Prince pretty well. Okay. And this is our, I believe, 3rd and final 5-model list. Colin's Chaos Knights, led by a Wardog Stalker. There is 3 Wardog Carnivores and a Wardog Brigand, bringing us to a nice hefty 5 miniatures. And a noble procession of gallantry and valor as these monstrosities stomp across the battlefield, laying waste to everything they can with their double-digit strength weapons. And, oh god, what do they got? Ooh. Yeah, toughness 10 across the board, no worries. That one's going to be a tricky one. Hope you guys are really good at rolling 6s to wound. Or have some tricks up your sleeve. Moving along. Our next sponsor is Stats and Ladders. This is the software that you guys will be using in order to track the process, the progress of your games. So if you have not done so, please make sure to make an account on the Stats and Ladders website for free using statsandladders.com. Link in the description, and you'll be able to have a nice quick in between rounds checkout, I guess, for lack of a better term, and easily input all your data. And I believe you should be able to see everyone's army list as you till out those forms too. Okay. Moving along, we have Lewis's Iron Warriors running the Fellhammer Siege Host detachment, led by a Warpsmith with the Iron Artifice enhancement, 3 combat squads of Legionnaires, 2 Predator Annihilators, I believe armed with las cannons. I mean, that's what an Annihilator is. And some Obliterators. Tripping over my words, excuse me. Where's my gaming notes? Oh, goodness me. Yes, so this Fellhammer Siege Host, if your strength is higher than the toughness of these Legionnaires, you're at -1 to wound. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just built different. So they're going to be a tricky unit or army to shift. So I think you really need to commit a bit more force to shooting up these models than you might have otherwise planned for. Into the smelly territory of the Death Guard, Declan is leading the charge with Typhus as a warlord, a tallyman to count the number of bodies that Typhus piles up, a Plague Surgeon, and a Foul Blight Spawn, leading 2 units of Plague Marines, a unit of Death Shroud Terminators, and a Plague Burst Crawler sitting up the back, lobbing rounds down range. Now, it's lucky. You guys are lucky. Typhus plus the Blight Spawn plus a unit of Plague Marines is a little bit too much, as you will recall that there is a limit on the size that an attached unit can be. So you're not allowed to have an attached unit, which is characters and and a bodyguard of greater than 250 points. And Typhus and the Blight Spawn is a bit too much to go anywhere, but maybe the Tallyman and the non-named guys, maybe they can team up and do some stuff. I think it's the Blight Spawn grants their attached unit the Fight's First ability, which is kind of like scary to think about. You don't really associate normally Plague Marines with being kind of fast, but it's kind of scary to think about. We have another Death Guard army. This army is coming in at the 53 miniature count. Also, Typhus as the Warlord. They are leading 4 combat squads of Plague Marines. They are loaded up into 2 Death Guard Rhinos, and shambling all the way down the horizon is 30... 30? I think it should be 30 Poxwalkers. That is incorrect. I've noticed another mistake. There are bound to be more. Hey guys, whoa, welcome. These are 30 Poxwalkers. I think I copied and pasted something. I'm so sorry. So tons of models. Hope you guys are good at clearing objectives. You got some blast weapons or something. It's not often that in this Tinyhammer format that you encounter like maximum size reinforced units. So maybe this is like a good meta counter pick. But I think Izzy just wanted to put a billion Pox. I know Izzy wanted to put a billion Poxwalkers on the board because it's fun. Jared is bringing in some Death Guard as well. Typhus as the Warlord with a Plague Caster for some spell casting and a Biologist Putrefier along for the ride with 2 units of Plague Marines and a Rhino to drive them about. Some Death Shroud Terminators and 2 Bloat Drones. I know at least one of those Bloat Drones is armed with the Flesh Mower, the big lawnmower attachment on the front to squish people with. That's such a cool component. And yeah, for Death Guard, the Bloat Drones, and then the Deep Striking Terminators. I mean, plus the Rhino as well. This is quite a mobile Death Guard army. Slow and purposeful. No, we're just purposeful. We're fast and purposeful. They're going to get where they need to be. Speaking of fast and getting where they need to be, we have Alex's Drakari Force, the spiteful Raider Archon leading his Sky Splinter Assault Force with a unit of Kabalite Warriors loaded up. I mean, usually, I would assume, into a Raider. There's a Venom on standby, so the Archon and his Incubi can jump in. A Ravager for some Dark Lance support, and some monstrous Kronos and Talai. 2 floating big monsters, and then another floating big monster with some tentacles to come get you. Nice mix of things here. Very, very mobile. I think the versatility of how you attach characters to units and attaching units to transports, it's going to be quite rewarding to mess around with game by game, not just trying to do the same thing every single time, running a hero by themselves, running a transport with a different unit in it than normal. You'll be able to, putting it in strategic reserve, you're going to have 8 games over those 2 days to try out loads of different strategies and find out one that's going to work well for you. Okay. Grey Knight time. Bradley's bringing along 2 impressive heroes, Castellan Crow and Grandmaster Voldus, leading his teleport strike force with an Interceptor squad, a Nemesis Dread Knight, a Purgation squad, and a Purifier squad. A little bit of everything, really. I believe that the Grey Knight Terminators, I think they're a little bit too big for the Tinyhammer format. This is an army that has pretty low OC. I think everything in the army is only OC 1. But, I mean, if you've got a 2+ save across the board and just 7 trillion attacks, I mean, who needs OC when, everyone else is dead around you? So this is going to be an interesting list to see sort of piloted across the battlefield. I think it's going to take a smart cookie to get the most out of it, but I think it's got potential with high mobility teleporting around. Doug's taken some Grey Knights too, with a Brotherhood champion with his Sigil of Exigence. Maybe it's a Sigil of Excellence as well, but Sigil of Exigence and a Brotherhood Tech Marine. Plus Inquisitor Kotias has come along for the ride. He heard that there was some demons and he wanted to smash them. They're leading a Strike Squad, a Nemesis Dread Knight, a Purgation Squad, and some Voidsmen at Arms, who are very much in way over their head, I think. I don't think those guys are coming out the other side the same as they went in. Inquisitor Kotias can be, I reckon, pretty interesting. Granting his attached unit a 5+ invulnerable save against psychic attacks. So depending on the matchup, that could be pretty good. Especially if fate aligns the planets just so right, and Doug's list is up against the Chaos Demon list, then that one is going to be interesting. Kotias just granting 5+ feel no pain against all demons. And that's going to be imagine if that occurs. They have families. All right. Well, hey, just make sure to use the go to ground stratagem every phase. We've got some Necrons coming up out of the ground, emerging from their tombs. The Hyper Crypt Legion, led by Tim, the Hexmark Destroyer, the Dimensional Overseer, popping off with 6 pistols. I love it. An Overlord with a Hyperspatial Transfer Node as the Warlord, and a Plasmancer with an Osteoclave Fulcrum. I love how fucking bizarre and zany these enhancement names are. Peak sci-fi. In the rest of this army, there are some Immortals, some Lich-Guard, 2 units of Scorpec Destroyers, and a Locust Heavy Destroyer. The Destroyer cult have been unleashed onto the battlefield. The Osteoclave Fulcrum gives the Plasmancer and any unit that the Plasmancer attaches to Deep Strike. So there could be a very, very, very scary unit of an Overlord. This Overlord has a Resurrection Orb, I believe, plus a Plasmancer, plus a unit of Lich Guard, Deep Striking down onto the battlefield and then just not dying, just refusing to die. Team Z will be piloted by Eric, his son. Ooh, all right, cool. I'm hopeful that Plasmancer does well. The Plasmancer is my favorite miniature in the Necron range. He's actually, no, that's a lie. It's the Tomb Spider. I like the Plasmancer. It's a close second. All right, we got a new sponsor. Oh, sorry, not a new sponsor. Another sponsor to talk about today. Ironheart Studios. Peep the professional URL. Just make sure to remember that one. Nice and easy to remember. Ironheart Studios creating many things from his garage, creating the trophies from events past, beast events in the past, and just cutting stuff, be it MDF, acrylic, which you guys will be using for like a area terrain on the battlefield. So maybe we should invest in an easy URL. But hey, link in the description. Just click the link. Click the link, Habibi. Click the link. Can we get some wars in the chat? It's time to look at some orcs. David is leading the charge, sneakily, stealthily. Just wah, but not too loud. We got Boss Snickrot sneaking about as the warlord. There's a pain boy and a war boss. The war boss says, "Follow me, lads," as Boss Snickrot sneaks up ahead, leading some boys, some Gretchen, 2 units of knobs, and some storm boys. I feel I'm seeing the narrative of this list on the battlefield. Snickrot and some boys, or Snickrot and some knobs sneaking up the battlefield. He gives the signal. All hell breaks loose. The war boss, the second wave, comes in, and the storm boys come screaming in overhead. And the Gretchen, they probably just run away. They'd probably just go home. I'm not going to lie. They're not hanging around. Follow me, lads. It's going to be a pretty scary one. War boss giving +2 inches of movement to themselves and an attached unit. And in a low unit count game in general, and a small-ish board, these guys will be able to, like, an 8-inch orc move. It's pretty decent. Do that a couple of times. They're anywhere where they want to be. More orcs. Gary's Bad Moons. The war boss in mega armor leading the fray. With some boys, a Death Dread, Death Copters, Flash Gits, Gretchen, Mega Knobs, and Storm Boys. A little bit of everything, which, as you know, is my favorite type of army list. It's just, give me, one with a lot, please. Death Copters, oh, so good, so cool, so cool. Giving some nice mobility and some flying to fly over all of the beautiful terrain you guys will be playing amidst. Mega Armor, Mega Boss, that is dead on 250 as an attached unit. So that could be one of the big scaries to look out for. But again, I don't think there's Gretchen hanging around. They're going to go home. This could be a scary one. Yeah, that war boss. Whoa, I'd love to know how many wounds he causes across the event. All right, we got the Bully Boys. We got Jack's Bully Boys. Snickrot's there as well. Or again, skulking about the battlefield, probably leading those commandos. And we got a war boss in Mega Army. This is like a fusion of the other orc list that we've seen. So many different ways to run these units. We got a Death Dread. We've got some Gretchen. We've got some commandos, probably infiltrating with Snickrot. 2 units of Mega Knobs, I believe units of 2. And a Shock Jump Dragster. Teleporting around the battlefield, splattering whoever the hell it runs over. And yep, again, those Gretchen, they're hiding. They're probably being real cheeky, foraging up command points on objectives, being a bit of a nuisance while you are running away from all those Mega Knobs. All right, and I believe this is our last orc list. We've got the Freebooters, a pirate-themed orc army commanded by War Boss Thomas. And their war boss in mega armor, also with Follow Me, lads, getting that extra bit of movement. If that movement wasn't enough, 2 trucks to drive around in, a huge unit of Flash Gits to sit in one of those trucks, get vehicle armor, and put out a horrendous amount of firepower. Some Gretchen, some killer cans, a unit of Mega Knobs, and 2 mech guns with bubble chuckers. That unit of Flash Gits is going to be so scary. At least trucks aren't... I mean, I was going to say trucks aren't the best armored things in the world, but they've got all of those like redundant ramshackle components, so the thing you could be shooting might not even be anything... like, it'll just be a flag on the back of the truck, you know, it just falls off. It's not supposed to be there. So this is going to be an interesting one. We've got so many different styles orcs. We've got sneaky orcs, we've got stabby orcs, and we've got shooty orcs. Which orc list will come out on top? We'll have to wait and see. We got the Beast Boss. Beast Orcs 2. From Will, the Propikili Beast Boss, leading 3 units of Beast Snagger Boys, a Kill Rig, and some Squig Hog Boys. These Beast Snagger Boys being, what, like toughness 5 as a boy? They're not even wearing anything. They're just wearing trousers, and they're toughness 5. Oh my god! Oh my gold! Holy dooly! That's going to be a pretty scary one. And I believe they get their a benefit against vehicles and monsters, which we know that there's about a quarter of all units in the game for this event are going to be vehicles and monsters. So there's a high likelihood that these Beast Snagger Boys are going to tear something up of yours that you want to keep alive. So be wary. All right, another sponsor. This is hard to pronounce, so let me lock in. I got to lock in. Magniature. It's like a miniature. It's a miniature magnet. Magniature. Magniature cases, everybody. Magniature.com. I think I've got it. I believe these are a new sponsor, with models getting more and more elaborate and dynamic and exciting looking. Older styles of storage for your miniatures. Needing to shake it up a little. If you're running a lot of state troops or intercessors or Necron warriors, your standard case will be fine. But when you get to these exciting miniatures, like we can see here, the Bad Moon Loon Shrine, the Triumph of St. Catherine, storage becomes a little bit tricky, but which is where Magniature Cases comes in, magnetizing your miniatures to your case, and you've got options of little graphics to have on your case as well. Pretty cool. Give them a gaze, give them a gander. Use protection as you transport your miniatures around. Okay, into the Space Marine lists, of which there are a few. I believe 6 Space Marine lists. Let's get amongst it. The Emperor's Complaints Department. I know, well, look, hey, Emperor, love him or hate him, he do be spitting. There's a long line to get into touch with the Emperor's Complaints Department. They don't have a lot of time to spend with you, so they're going to make it short and sweet and to the point, and they're going to deal with your complaints in a very timely manner. They're going to be led by an Apothecary Biologus and a Tech Marine as the Warlord, as this is an Iron Hands themed army, with 1 Brutalis Dreadnought, 2 drop pods with Deathwind missiles, an Eradicator squad, and 2 Hellblaster squads. A lot of Melter and Plasma in this list. The Brutalis Dreadnought just cruising around, snapping things in half with his big talons and getting repaired by the Tech Marine. And then the drop pods gaining that ability to sort of drop whichever one of these units really wherever they want on the board from the first turn. So going to be a pretty unpredictable army. I think it's going to be very, very highly reactive. And even if you shoot those Hellblasters and manage to get a good hit on, they're probably just going to shoot you as they die with their cool special rule. The gorgeously painted army too. Even if you don't get the opportunity to play against Adam's army, suss them out and have a look at these miniatures. Oh, gorgeous. We have Alex's Blood Angels, the Sons of Sanguinius Detachment, being led by a chaplain with jump pack, a lieutenant, and another Tech Marine. And they're leading some assault intercessors, some more assault intercessors, but with jump packs this time, and a Death Company Dreadnought, plus a Vindicator Siege Tank. So we've got a little bit of everything. We've got some flying guys, we've got some foot infantry, we've got a walker, and we've got a vehicle too. I am very scared of that chaplain and assault intercessor combo. And plus, hell, the Death Company Dreadnought too. I think there's a lot of things to be scared about. This is an interesting list. I was going to say it's going to suffer at range, but I mean, if I can just run and fly at you, who needs range? Pistols are all I need. I've got my chainsword. So I'll be curious to see how they weather the first turn or two, but I don't know, with those jump packs, ability to, I mean, hell, strategic reserves as well. Vindicator is going to lob some siege shells down range and make you keep your head down while, you hear just the sounds of distant chainsaws revving. It's going to be a scary one. We have Alan's Raven Guard themed army led by Caven Shrike, a lieutenant with combi weapon, and a Vindicare assassin sneaking around on the outskirts of the battlefield looking to pick off your heroes with its Exodus bolt rifle. There are 2 scout squads deploying to the battlefield. One of them has a rocket launcher. One of them has I think a heavy bolter from memory. A Storm Speeder Thunder Strike, and 2 Vanguard veteran squads with jump packs. I'm pretty sure one of them is armed purely with power fists. I think, from memory. I think this is going to be just similar to Adam's list, a highly reactive list with those infiltrating abilities and those stealth abilities, and high mobility of the Vanguard veterans and the flying Thunderstrike. A list that can sort of be where it needs to be, and those scouts coming in with that sort of mixture of specialty weapons and sort of pre-game moves. Going to have a good reflex, or not reflexivity. Yeah, let's say reflexivity. That works. Reactiveness. No, my first one was better. We've got Ben's Blood Angels, a chaplain with a jump pack, 2 units of assault intercessors with jump packs, 2 Death Company dreadnoughts, Death Company Marines with jump packs, and some scouts for good measure too. Oh boy. Ben, I hope you own a lot of dice, because you're going to be rolling a lot of dice with these models. That's going to be terrifying. A terrifying visual is all these Marines descending from the sky on wings of fire with their jump packs, just screaming, and the revving of chainswords to chop you apart. Ooh, who does the chaplain go with? Does he go by himself? No, he surely goes with one of the intercessors or the Death Company Marines. Ooh. We're feeling so nice to include Ben this time. yeah, we got you listed. You're on the show. Hooray. Oh, hang on. I gotta look at my notes. I have those. I did that for a reason, hey, didn't I? I got nothing. I was just impressed. I was just scared by these Death Company. All right, the Chaplain and Death Company. Oh, yeah. Because they've got an ability. I think Death Company, they don't have any OC unless a chaplain's leading them. I think I learnt this the other day, and I thought that was a really, really, really cool rule. All right, we've got James's Iron Storm Spearhead with a Tech Marine as the Warlord, a Vindicare Assassin, that's the second Vindicare that we've got in the game, an Intercessor squad, an Impulsor to drive them around, some Assault Intercessors with jump packs, a Brutalis Dreadnought, a Hellblaster squad, and some Scouts. I'm so happy to see so many Scout squads scuttling around the board and doing their thing. So cool. Very, 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 very happy that they've got a nice new kit as well. I think Scouts, just perfect for this kind of event. And we've got another list of little bits of everything. We've got heroes. We've got vehicles of both the walkie and the drive kind and the walking kind. We've got flying units. We've got shooting units. We've got stabby units. I think, this is a cool list. It's just a little bit of everything. It's like you'd see in a White Dwarf. I love lists like this. Okay, Kyle's Pelennor Crusade list is a Dark Angel supplement detachment, the company of hunters, with the sound of revving engines in the distance as everything is on a bike. We've got a chaplain on bike. We've got 2 Raven Ring Command squads, a big unit of Outriders, and 2 Raven Wing Black Knights squads. Everything's on a bike. Everything can retreat and shoot, or advance and shoot. It's going to have just absolute move wherever it wants on the battlefield. So I guess if you've got the capability, maybe climb up a garrison inside of a ruins so the bikes can't drive up the wall and hit you and run you over. If you're in the open, you're going to be cut down so easy. Okay, we're going to the best chapter, the Ultramarines. Keep your opinions to yourself, chat. I don't want to hear it. I know I'm right. We got Liam's Ultramarines with the Lieutenant in Phobos armor leading the way with some Intercessors, a Ballistus Dreadnought, a Hellblaster squad, an Infiltrator squad, a Suppressor squad, and a Terminator squad. A nice mixture of things as well. Lieutenant plus Infiltrators, get that pre-game move going on. Suppressors, sort of putting down the... I almost spilled my drink. Suppressors putting down some suppressing fire. Intercessors forming that backline. Ballistas tearing up with the rockets and the las cannons. Terminators deep striking where they need to be. Little bit of everything. I feel, again, this is a list that I think, in theory, can sort of work quite harmoniously, which, you know, Space Marine lists don't really need to do, but I think could be a thing of beauty when you tie it all together. You have Nyx's Dark Angels, a low model count list, led by the Captain in Terminator armor with a Ghost Weave cloak. We've got a Stealthy Terminator, leading along 2 units of Deathwing Knights. Deathwing Terminators, sorry. Deathwing Terminators, not Deathwing Knights. And 2 Ballistas Dreadnoughts. Very small, compact, hard to kill army. Going to be very interesting. I think the ability for more than half of the army to just deep strike while 2 Dreadnoughts just chill at the back and pick you off with rockets and las cannons, that's going to be a hard one to deal with. Especially if you guys have played the Smash and Grab mission. I think those Deathwing Terminators just deep striking your rear field, picking up your objectives and walking them home. And you're not going to be able to slap them out of their hands. Maybe with enough dice, but I don't know. 2+ saves across the board. We'll see. And even if you can target the Terminator captain with his Ghost Weave cloak, he gets, he's invisible outside of 12 inches, I believe. Gonna be a scary one. But we'll see how it goes. All right, another sponsor. You know what time it is? Time to talk about Leadbear's Tufts. Leadbear's Tufts has been sponsoring Beasts for a while now. A bloke making grass tufts on his dining room table, much to the chagrin of his lovely wife, complaining about static grass scattering hither and to, but makes a good product. Lots of different types of grass tuft for your displays, your dioramas, your miniatures bases, as well as, look at those little vegetables, bro. Look at those little pumpkins and the cauliflowers. That's adorable. I love it. It makes me want to paint all of those Middle-earth hobbits that I've got. Make little veggie patches. Isn't that cute? Even in the grim darkness of the far future, eat your fruit and veg. All right. Tau Empire. We have a single Tau Empire list, commanded by Hamish, who is leading the army with a Kadra Fireblade, a Breacher team, a Devilfish, a Pathfinder team, 2 Riptides, and some Stealth Suits. It's going to be a tricky one, because I think even with 2 Riptides, there's still a decent amount of bodies on the board. 2 Breachers, some Stealth Suits. Sorry, Breachers and Pathfinders, so two infantry units is what I meant to say. Some Stealth Suits and a Devilfish to transport them around and protect them. All while the Riptides put down a withering torrent of firepower. Tricky. That'd be a scare. I wouldn't know what to target. I'd be scared. I'd be like, oh, I want to kill the Riptides because they're scary, but I really should be taking out the Breachers because I don't want them to get close. Oh, that's why I lose all my games, hey. We've got Audrey's 1,000 Suns list. A small, compact list with 999,000 tricks up their sleeve. The Infernal Master leads the force, which consists of Rubric Marines, Scarab Occult Terminators coming in at exactly 200 points, a Hellbrute, and a Vindicator Siege Tank 2. Let me check my notes. I know I got notes for this. So this army is going to have like a response to everything you do. Plans within plans within plans, as the Kindred Sorcery army ability, and then like just the ability to generate and sort of spend Cabal points. It's going to give Audrey loads of opportunities to do some crafty stuff, which is what they're very, very, very good at. So there's going to be a scary list to come up against. I think I was going to say the its only downside is that it's low in numbers, but I mean, Scarab Occult Terminators, they're not going to die, and Rubric Marines, they're pretty hard to put down too. And then even if you, I don't know, there's tricks within tricks. We got some Tyranids. The Great Devourer is not shy of these events. We've got Jim's Vanguard Onslaught being led by the Death Leaper and a Brood Lord. Gargoyles are flapping across the sky with 2 units of Gene Stealers lurking below. There's a Lictor, 2 units of Von Ryan's Leapers, and some Zone Thropes. And hey, I got 20 points. Here's a cheeky Ripper Swarm too. That's a lot of attacks. Like Von Ryan's Leapers, what, they're like 6 attacks each? The units are 3? You got 2 of them, and the Gene Stealers, and the Broodlord. Broodlord plus Gene Stealers, like that's going to be a scary one too, just to look out for. That is a combo. Oh boy, stay away from me with that. Let me tell you. I think Scott's army. Oh no, Scott's army doesn't have it. Scott's army instead has a winged Tyranid Prime flying across the battlefield, or actually probably leading these Tyranid warriors. 2 units of Termagants, all with Flesh Borers. A Horror Specs to eat you, gobble you whole. Another sneaky Lictor, sneaking his way in. A Tyrannofex and some Zoanthropes, as well as the aforementioned Tyranid warriors with ranged bioweapons. I believe I played against this list last Tinyhammer, or a version of this list. Horror Specs, super scary. Tyrannofex, horrifyingly scary. Yeah, Tyrannofex is geez Louise. The mission I played against Scott was deploying on short table edges, so that Tyrannofex just chilled at the back all game through that bio slime, melted all my Space Marines. Oh boy, it's gonna be a scary one. I think the winged Tyranid Prime, either leading the warriors or just flying around on his own. Yeah, got some options there. Okay, and our final army list of the evening is Mark's World Eaters, the Jugglugs. There's the World Eaters Lord on Juggernaut, leading a unit of Jackals, a big unit of Khorne Berserkers, and a small unit of Khorne Berserkers, some Exalted 8-bound, and a Mauler Fiend 2. Again, I think that there's going to be a lot of utility with this Juggernaut Lord. Juggerlord. Yeah, he's a Juggerlord now. I like that because he can lead not the big unit of Berserkers, but he can lead the small unit of Berserkers, or he can lead the 8-bound, giving them rerolls on I think charges and advances, or on the Khorne Berserkers like you shoot me, I run at you. I reckon the Juggerlord would be fine on their own as well, doing some impact hits as well. And if that's not enough, there's Mauler Fiend too. Some good a good choice with the Jackals, I think, giving you some just some cheap bodies to screen steal objectives with. And that is everything. That's all the lists. We got through it. And it didn't take this didn't take as long as I thought it would. I was so weird. I'm sorry. I hope I haven't gone for too long. I've got a couple more things to talk about. So here are some of the most expensive units in regards of match play points that have been selected for this event. We've got the Tyrannofex, we've got the Dread Knight, the Demon Prince with Wings, Scarab Occult Terminators, Wraith Guard, and the Leman Russ Battle Tank. These are the units that clock in at the highest points value. Potentially that means that they're going to be really, really, really scary, or maybe those units that you can attach characters to under that 250 attached squad. Maybe they're going to be the more scary ones. Who knows? Time will tell. But I don't know. Maybe screenshot this and use it as a bingo card. See if you can take any of these units out. We've got a couple of temporal distortions, rifts in reality, as there are multiple versions of the same thing. There are 3 Typhuses and 2 Snikrots being the only instances of unique characters, or named characters rather, existing. Did you get my list? I sent this afternoon. I don't have Facebook, so I was a bit delayed. I haven't seen it because I made this yesterday, so I'm sorry. Sorry that your list wasn't on the review show, but I'm sure I'll have a look and see if it's there afterwards. Oh yeah, I only worked with what I had yesterday. All right, and here we have the top 9 data sheets. These are the data sheets that appeared the most across the event. So Plague Marines being the most used data sheet for this event, being used 8 times in 3 lists, I guess. I know Isabel is taking 4 of them, so half of them, it's all her. There are 5 units of Penitent Engines stomping around the battlefield, and we have a 2, 4, 6-way tie. No, 7-way tie. for third place. With there are 4 units of Hellblasters, 4 scout squads, 4 assault intercessors with jump packs, 4 Mega Nobs, 4 Gretchen, and 4 Leman Russ battle tanks taking to the tabletop. Again, maybe use this as a bingo as well. I'd have taken 3 if I was allowed. All right, and that leads us to the end of the list, a preview portion of this show. We got 2 more announcements, being that if you like your small-scale games in this 750-point format, we're doing it again later this year, but this time in the mortal realms of Age of Sigmar on the first weekend of August at the same place, Belco Labor Club. Tickets are also being available through Sigmar Central. This will be using the brand new rules, the brand new edition of Age of Sigmar, as it'll be out by then. I'd love to go. I'd probably take my Stormcast out for another whirl, but hey, I got my Grots, I got my Death. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? If you're like, yeah, small games, I've had my fill of Tinyhammer with Tinyhammer 40,000. No worries, brother. We got Age of Bigmar, Jumbo Hammer, Mega Hammer. Age of Bigmar in October. 750 points. We like our small games here. We also like our big games here. This is going to be a 4,000 point event. Also using the brand new Age of Sigmar rules. This is going to be a cool one. This is going to be a cool one. We've been theory crafting some ideas. We've got some fun ideas for alternate allies, matrices. So stay tuned on the Beasts Gaming tabletop social medias here on YouTube, on the Facebook page. I think those are the 2 ones. So click 2 buttons, and hey, you're up to date. You're following us. Tickets for Age of Sigmar Tinyhammer will be available this week. So you'll be able to put in for leave from work if you work weekends far in advance. Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I could have just done this. There we are. That is the list preview show. Thank you for coming along. I won't keep you for much longer at all. Or big 40,000. Maybe. We'll see. Please have a lovely time tomorrow. Take lots of photos of your games, share it on your social medias, or post it into the Beasts Gaming page on the Facebook. Hope you have a wonderful time. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you guys around. Oh, I won't see you. I won't be there. I'm working tomorrow, bro. But you guys have fun for me. Night. Good night. Have fun painting.